Welcome back, I'm Pocket What If from the What If in Your Pocket. And guys, so the last part, or the last what if Izuku was Bloodhound and had a younger girlfriend, is doing very well, especially for it being so short and text to speech. So far it's doing very well, so keep that up, guys, and make sure that What If does decently so I can get more views. And so, the 200 subscriber goal poll is at 24 votes right now. You need about 26 more, and then you get the 200 subscriber goal What If. And also, guys, please do not forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video so I can do more later, comment down below so I get some ideas, and share this What If with friends or family and whatever. And guys, please hit that notification bell so you guys get my videos when I post them. And guys, other than that, please enjoy What If Izuku was the grandson of Tanya the Evil, the beginning of a new era. Let's go, shall we? From the last part, Izuku's team have gone up the ladder, as well as Bakugo Katsuki, as they are now finally in the final round. Team Midoriya versus Team Katsuki. This is gonna be so good. So, after Izuku and his team beat I believe the Russians, I do believe, and Katsuki beating the guy with a shock absorption quirk, which, by the way, I asked you guys to give a name for this potential character, but since there was only one of you actually gave a name, so Squid Squad 8697 Shiru Panchi will be the name of the kid who has the shock absorption quirk. So, yippee-ki-yay. So, after all those fights, and the fights after, because, well, you need to get to the main event, as we cut to Izuku's team's room, as they are relaxing after their last fight, and are going to soon discuss about how to beat Katsuki and his team. Or at least what's left of it. Ugh, God. Those Russians know how to pack a damn punch. You're telling me I had to fight a bear? Oh, come on. Patrick, it was not that hard. Not that hard. You had to fight a guy with an enhancement quirk. A glowing red one. God, the Russians, they really know how to be dramatic when it comes to that. Yeah. So, Patrick, are you good? I'm fine. The guy with a smoke quirk was such a pain in the butt, but I can still fight. Good. Sean? Yeah. Even though the bear was tough, I could keep going. What about you? Enhancement roughed me up a bit, but nothing too concerning. Okay, so how are we going to deal with the guy with C4 for sweat? He might be some trouble, Sean. Definitely some amount of trouble. I think if all of us go at him, I think we can take him. I think I can take him on myself. As Sean just looks at him, as he just says with pure honesty, Izu, that may be the most stupidest thing I ever heard you ever say. As Izu just turns to Sean with a bit of a raised eyebrow. And what do you mean by that? Izu, for all the years that we've known each other, practically raised together, you're not, how do I say it, explosion proof? As Izu just raises, another eyebrow, like, and look, Izu, you're scary. Scary as hell. You make Tanya seem reasonable. But in comparison to him, to that blonde explosion boy, the explosive Pomeranian, I don't think you can beat him. And before Izuku says anything, look, I know your mage enhancement ability, it's really good. Can even beat me at times, but that kid can move around. And not just in the classic Rook way. He could go in all 360 motion. He could attack you from behind, from the front, from the sides, in every direction. I'm pretty sure if he gets you in a certain area, he could probably attack you from below. Izu, unless you have your equipment on, I don't think you can take him. At least not by yourself. As Izuku's just like, alright, keep going. Really? Keep going. Also, Izu, we've seen him fight. He's a very aggressive fighter. Kinda like you. Except more so. Somehow. That guy is quite literally, how do I say this? He's a freaking war train coming at you at 270 miles per hour. And about to hit you. That's the kind of person he is. He just heads straight into fight. Kind of like, what's a good analogy? That Miracle Girl from Japan. Number 6, I think? Number 5. Thank you, Izu. But just like her, he just gets into a fight immediately. And he almost has an equally vicious smile as you. So it's going to be way more fun then. Izu. Patrick, back me up here! What Sean is trying to say is that Izu, he's way more aggressive, and if anything, he's probably going to take you being a mage, trying to be in a quirk combat tournament as a challenge. And if he even has a single cell that isn't filled with nitroglycerin, he is probably planning to beat us right now. And most likely he's most likely going to try to attack you first. Me first? Well, Izu, I'm not gonna lie, you're probably our weakest link. Mostly because you don't have a quirk. And also, with some of the more simpler quirked opponents, you have been falling a little bit behind. So, knowing him so far, he and his lackeys are going to try to get at you first and try to pick us off one by one, using all their might. And if anything, they're probably going to try, at least the one with the wings is most likely going to try to flank you. Wait, they healed his wings? Yep, especially one with his stretchy fingers. Okay then. Alright, what should we do then? Well, as we cut over to Katsuki and his team. Alright, you two morons. Here's what we're going to do. Number 1, you two are not going to be pushed out of the ring in the first 30 seconds of the fight. And number 2, we have to go after the mage. The mage? Really, Bakugo? I mean, sure, he may be a little tough and he can handle himself, but I don't think he's necessarily need to be a priority. Oh, God, this is why you two are idiots. He's obviously the brains of the 3. If we could take him out, the other 2 will crumble. I don't think so, Bakugo. The other 2 are kinda tough. As well, the air cannon kid could probably match your explosions for every bang and buck. I don't see how you could probably match that. You have to maneuver. And the kid with the electric whips. He's probably be trouble for at least both of us. Look, all we gotta do is take him out one at a time. All 3 of us taking each one on. We'll just overwhelm them and we can win this. That's probably not a good idea. Wouldn't the other two just back the one up? I do the punching, you two do the blocking. That is it. Ugh, why did I have you two as partners? As we cut to the arena. As before, Izuku's team actually comes in, as well as Team Bakugo, as the announcer just states, "Alright, everybody, so this is the finals of this year's Quirk Combat Tournament. So, on the left side, we have Team Midoriya, and on the right side, there is Team Bakugo. So, whoever wins this gets to go to UA. So, let's begin." As then the fight starts, Bakugo, without even a second thought, blasts towards Izuku as both his friends, quote unquote, attack both Patrick and Sean. As Izuku, expecting this, just throws up a shield as Bakugo just swings, basically making the first attack, exploding his hand towards the shield. The shield, unsurprisingly, doesn't break as Bakugo goes on the offensive. As Izuku's, friends are trying to, help him out, but the two of Bakugo's goons are just holding them there, but not doing all that well, as Sean just blasts one of them outside the zone as he is out. As it's gonna be the guy with the long fingers, as the guy with the wings tries to hold both of them off. As we come back towards Izuku trying the best he can against Bakugo, but every time he tries to, throw a punch or a kick or something, Bakugo would either dodge and try to counterattack, exploding Izuku's face. As even when Izuku is enhancing himself, he's doing very little damage, as he starts to now play a little dirty. As we cut to that, as Bakugo tries to throw an explosion at Izuku's face, he literally ducks under it. He grabs Bakugo's arm, but also his shoulder, and tries to yank it backwards to try to break his arm. But Bakugo just uses his left hand and explodes it, swinging both him and Izuku like a dang hurricane, and keeps releasing his explosions on his left arm to try to, get Izuku off. But Izuku keeps on trying to, break his, right arm, since, Bakugo is, right-handed. But Bakugo explodes his left hand one more time, and then slamming Izuku to the ground, eventually making him let go. But Bakugo, tumbling like 2-3 feet away from Izuku, as Izuku immediately gets back up. As the fight starts again, Bakugo exploding towards Izuku, as Izuku gets himself into a combat stance, as both of them try to fight in a hand-to-hand situation. Bakugo using his quirk to give him way more powerful and, yes, explosive blows, while Izuku pushing his enhancement ability to its freaking limit, as they are trying so hard to put each other down. Bakugo giving explosive punches and kicks and knees, as Izuku just all around trying to disarm this person as best he can, as they both, at the same exact time, Bakugo exploding his elbow, giving him a greater launch, Izuku putting almost everything into this one punch, as they both punch each other in the jugular, as the both of them collapse and trying to breathe. As the announcer just states, "Well then, everybody, both captains of the teams just punched each other in the Adam's apple. Ooh, they are not going to get up easy after that one, folks." As we cut to both Sean and Patrick trying to fight the dude with wings as Patrick just starts electrocuting him and basically knocking him out. As they go to, try to fight Bakugo and support Izuku, but Izuku just looks at them and says, I can handle this. I am fine. I can take him. As they both just look at him. I don't think you can take him. As then Sean immediately sits down as he just goes, do as you will, Izu. As both Bakugo and Izuku get up, as they just slug it out again. As Patrick is like, aren't we going to do something, or let Izuku do this? He wants to get his ass kicked. Allow him to. It's the only way he's gonna learn. As we cut to both Izuku and Bakugo fighting, as they're both playing dirty. As Izuku grabs Bakugo's arm, as Bakugo tries to explode his arm again, but Izuku flips him over as he makes Bakugo land on his back, as Izuku tries to subdue Bakugo, basically making him tap out and making him the winner. But as Bakugo can feel his arm going up on his back, feeling more tense, he just automatically explodes his one remaining hand, puts him and Izuku upright, and just swings his head backwards and smashing his head with Izuku's nose, breaking it. As Izuku lets go for a second, as Bakugo just jumps forward and turns back, doing an AP shot at Izuku's chest, sending him flying backwards and out of bounds. As Bakugo, for a split second, begins to celebrate, as he just goes, yes! I beat the blonde mage! As then he gets blasted with air, as he gets flung towards the other wall, as he gets disqualified. Since both Patrick and Sean have been sitting in the ring watching this fight, Team Midoriya won the match, as everyone both celebrates and also confusingly be worried for both of the boys, as they are both be placed upon stretchers. As later he wakes up, as he's like, he knows, as everybody, and I mean everybody, is just looking at Izuku, as he just smiles like, hey guys, how you been? As then simultaneously, both Tanya and Inka walk to either side of the bed, as they proceed to make a fist, as they both punch Izuku on top of the head. Ow! Mom! Graham! What the heck? What were you thinking, Izu? Mom, I'm fine. I just have a slight broken nose. Slight? You also have 2 of your ribs broken, you idiot. As Patrick begins to chuckle a little bit. And you two, what did we do? You two allowed him to fight the boy. What were you supposed to do? I mean, it's Izuku, for Pete heaven's sake. Besides, those two are gonna fight anyway, so might as well let Izuku have his fun. Yeah, his fun. Was that fun limited to him getting his throat punched? I mean, he still wanted to go, and well, he's gotta learn to, trust us to fight with him. It wasn't about trust, guys. It was just he needed to be taken down a couple notches. Says the cockiest person I know. Sean, give me a break. I give you plenty. Well, then, in that case, boys, once this next hiking trip comes up, that'll be put to an end quite abruptly. As in, Sean just speaks up. Well, I'm not going. Right? Grandma? As he looks at her, as she just says, Oh yeah, you're going. As in Sean goes, wait. Mom and Dad are not going to agree to this. I got school and all sorts of stuff going on. As she just shows him her phone. As both of his parents just agreed, yeah, he's going with her on that trip. With eyes of sheer horror upon him. He just goes, the last hiking trip that Aunt Tanya went on with Izuku, Izu lost a third of his weight! A third! What are we gonna do with this one? And you're probably gonna lose probably a quarter, maybe, because we're not gonna be there as long. Only 2-ish months? 2 months? Well, it's probably not gonna be that bad. Alright, we'll be gone with 3. Damn it! Wait, where are we going anyway, supposedly? Someplace very cold. Especially in the winter. Plus, I am adding some extracurricular activities. Extracurricular activities? Well, since all 3 of you won the tournament, you're basically seated at UA, one of the best colleges in Japan. You might as well learn Japanese, at least a little bit. So I'm adding that to the list. Okay. Grandma, yes, Izu? How humbling will this be? Very, very humbling. By the end of this hike, you guys will be speaking at least some broken Japanese and be capable of winning any test, physical or written. Major? Yes, Weiss? I mean, where are the boys going to be staying? I mean, if they are going to Japan, I don't believe UA has any form of housing, especially on-site housing. So, where are the boys going to stay? They can stay at the apartments. What apartments? I mean, all the ones we own. As everyone looks at Tanya. What do you mean the ones we own? Oh, there's some apartments I bought in Japan a while back. Wait, what do you mean while back? When did we make our first $1,000,000? As everyone just stares at Tanya. We've been owning properties outside of the US? Well, of course. I own many properties across the world. Like where? Victoria asked. Well, I own some, well, definitely in Japan. 2 in Germany, 1 in Moscow. Wait, Moscow? As everyone just says, wait, we actually own property in Moscow? Oh, yes. Remember that one place we bombed severely? I own one small apartment, as well as this fantastic view of that one statue we severely defaced. And of course, I have it under an alias name. But other than that, I own some property in Japan, namely this one small apartment complex. It'll be a fantastic place to put the boys. Besides, I have a few residents there anyway. Wait, you rent? Oh, of course. I needed some way to make money there. It was an entire apartment building. You need to put it to work somehow. And I have a couple rooms in there that are still left vacant, just in case. Well then, it seems like everything has been prepared. Well then, we might as well let Izuku rest. Take care of yourself, my boy. I will, Uncle Whis. I will. You might want to get that checked out. Don't worry, I will. As they all leave. As we cut towards December. As the first snow begins to fall across the track, with a massive cargo plane ready to take off, as Izuku, Sean, and Patrick, as well as Tanya, but Tanya is already in the plane, as Patrick just has to ask, okay, where the heck are we going that needs a cargo plane? Oh, don't worry about it. We will know when we get there. Yeah, but we could go nearly anywhere. We could go to Alaska, to Russia, or hell, the frickin' Himalayas. We don't know where we're going, and wearing all of this does not bring a lot of confidence. as they're wearing like heavy winter gear, like stuff you may want to prepare for, severe mountain climbing kind of stuff. As they also have themselves some miniature air tanks with them in case they get to like super high altitude. So, to where the heck they're going is very limited. Patrick, you need to stop worrying. You're gonna run out of energy that way. You need to be calm, cool, and collected. We can't panic. All I'm doing is panicking! I mean, think about it. This is Tanya! Tanya Dugashev! The same one who trained our grandparents and helped taught our own parents how to do crazy stuff. For all I know, we could go freaking anywhere. We could do the same stuff she did to our grandparents, bombing a mountainside and us getting trapped under like 40 feet of snow. I don't want to get hypothermia. I mean, the most that you and I have ever hiked was like the Yellowstone Trail, and we were like 9. Patrick, calm, cool, and collected. You're really trying, aren't you, Sean? Well, I do like to win a bet once in a while. It's about time I win at least one. Well then, I cannot wait for you to win then. I wonder, what are you going to spend it on? You'll know when I do it. That's assuming that you actually go through with it. As in, Tanya walks through the cargo plane door, as she's just like, come on, hurry up. Time is wasting. The longer you guys wait, the colder it's going to get. As Patrick just goes, crap. As they get on the plane, as it begins to take off. As before it takes off fully, Tanya just throws a couple books at the boys. Grandma, what's this? As it says on the cover, Japanese for Dummies. As long as you 3 are on this plane and gonna be at this hike, we're gonna read that little book. And by the end of it, I hope you guys can at least speak a little bit of Japanese. Since you guys could be there for a good long time. Since I assume you guys want to complete your entire learning experience there. So that's probably going to be at least 4, maybe 5 years. So you might as well learn how to speak the language. As well, by the end of this little hike, I will be quizzing you. Whoever gets the most points wins. And what exactly do we win, Miss? It's not Miss now, Sean. It's Major. Okay, Major, what will be the prize? I'll let you know, but it will be a significant prize. So, as she just taps on to the metal wall of the plane, as the plane takes off. As the boys, they try to read the book, but eventually they just take a nice little snooze. And as we cut a couple, well, not a couple, let's say 16 to 17 hours later, as the cargo doors open, as cold wind brushes between all 3 of the boys, as they basically wake up after a nap. What the heck happened? Well then, boys! As Tanya puts on goggles and a mask on, I'd like to personally welcome you to Asia. To be exact, to the Himalayan mountains. As everyone immediately looks at Patrick, as he just says, what? You cursed us, you fool! As then, Tanya just runs out of the plane just saying, Banzai! As she flies out of there. As the 3 boys just saw that. And inside, well, both Patrick and Sean's head, they're just thinking, well, we have to deal with that now Inside Izuku's, he's just thinking, God, it's probably gonna be a long drop. Oh well, as he just grabs like a parachute as he jumps out. As then it's just Patrick and Sean. As then Sean just looks at Patrick and says, last one down is a rotten egg. As he just runs at the ramp and just does a cannonball. As then Patrick just goes, wait, Sean forgot his parachute. As then Patrick just grabs one as he jumps out as well. As all of them are now just descending to the Himalayan mountains. As Tanya just looks back as she just gives a signal to follow her. As they do, and both Tanya and Izuku land in the snow gracefully. But Sean? He just uses his air cannon quirk to try to break this fall and try to land in the snow, but instead, all he does is just basically gracefully crash as he's rolling into the snow. But Patrick actually deploys his parachute as he lands in the snow as well. As when they all landed, Patrick just asks, so this is the Himalayan mountain, huh? Actually, Patrick, it's the Himalayan mountains. There's multiple. Oh, really? I thought it was just Himalayan mountain. The one you're thinking of, Patrick, is the one in Nepal, which we'll be going to. Wait, we're not there? No, as she just pulls out her map. We are at least 3 to 4 miles due east from the Pakistan border. Wait, what? Oh, if the pilot, flew us here correctly. Well, boys, as she looks at all of them, we will be heading due west towards Nepal, namely for the city of Jamula, where our plane will be waiting for us. But before any of that, we got to set some ground rules. Number 1, no quirk usage of any kind, as both of them are a bit shocked. Number 2, no mage abilities of any kind. That includes for me. Number 3, we must constrain our supplies as much as possible. Don't be afraid, there'll be a plane flying over us every 1 to 2 weeks, delivering us supplies. As then Patrick raises his hand. As Tanya just goes, what is it, Patrick? Miss Tanya, isn't, from here to there, like, as he just does some calculations in his head, like, a little over 500 miles? That's about right. How many miles do you think we're supposed to do a day? Well, if we do things right and a good enough pace, we should be doing at least 10 miles a day. As both Patrick and Sean just have, like, humongous wide eye. 10 miles a day? With all the equipment that we have on our back? Pretty much. How in hell we're going to survive this? We're going to survive. Wait. You said this will be, like, within, like, 1.5 months. More or less. What are we going to do with the other half of the month? We're supposed to be here, like, doing this for 3 months. Well, once we get there, we'll relax and recoup. And then the real training will begin. As even with the air mask over her face, they can see a smile forming on her. As all 3 of them think in unison, oh, we are all types of... Oh, and let's not forget the last rule, boys. As they all look at her. By the end of this trip, you will learn how to speak Japanese. Or at least brokenly. Do you all understand? As they all just look at her as like, and then they just give a nod. Oh, and also you will be tested. And you at least need 75 points to succeed. There's no regular season this class. And if none of you succeed this, all of your training will be increased tenfold permanently. So, let's get to walking and get to reading. As she begins to walk, as both Sean and Patrick just look at Izuku, as he just says, I know, she's the devil. Come on, let's go. As they begin this journey of suffering, as days, as the first 2 weeks have gone by, as a plane overhead flies over as it drops a crate. As it lands somewhat further away from the campsite, as Tanya and Izuku heard this. So did Patrick and Sean, as they got up, as they go over to the sound of it, as they see the crate. As Tanya goes like, alright, time to open it up. Izu, as they both grab their knives as they cut the crate open. As in that crate there is high calorie bars, dried applesauce, and enough dried food for the next 2 weeks to split between all 4 of them. As Tanya just goes, well, time to split this up between the 4 of us and get back to hiking. As Patrick just goes, oh god, this is heck. As Sean just goes, stop complaining, it's not that bad. As Patrick just goes, your leg looks like a map of Louisiana. So? Oh, don't give me that so. You're suffering too. You just want to win that bet. So what? I am going to win this. Oh god, you're too damn stubborn for your own good at times. Whatever. Let's get back to it. That's the spirit, Sean. You definitely got your father's spirit. Thank you. As they all get back to it, as more weeks go by, more of them climbing over ridges and just hiking through the snow and get in a mountain climbing. Eventually, they get to the city of Jamalia. As when Patrick saw the city like a few miles away, he just goes, yes! We're here! As he just books it towards it. As Ty just goes like, it's always during the last leg of the race they finally use their energy. What is with that? As they get down there. As when they get down there, Tanya leads them to this one weird building that definitely does not match the rest of the housing around the place. It's a little more modern looking. As when they all arrive inside, as then Tanya walks over to the hostess, as she talks to her like for a couple of minutes, as she gains 2 keys. As she tosses one to Patrick. Alright, that's for you and Sean. Izu, you're with me. Wait, what the heck is going on? Well, we'll be staying here for the next, 1.5 months. And to relax and recoup ourselves. And then the training can begin. As all of them remember when this all started. All the suffering they went through was, to her, a freaking warm-up. As in, Patrick just goes, let's go, Sean. Let's just hope they have some real beds. We're probably gonna need it. As they go to their rooms and get some sleep. And after that, they eat, they swim a little bit, they do a couple little bits of hiking. Not as bad as what they went through, but eh. And then their training begins as they all been brought into this one room with Tanya just standing there, ready, as all 3 of them enters like, we're gonna start training today. Well, we're here, Miss Tanya. Hello. Well, it took you guys long enough to get here. So, our first day of training is going to be very simple, but not easy. As Patrick just thinks it never is. So what's going to be? Push-ups, sit-ups, 100k run. What's it going to be? You're all going to fight me. As they all look at each other, as Izuku gets himself into a fighting stance. So does Sean after seeing him. And then Patrick just goes, I guess we're fighting an old lady. As he gets into his. Those were not exactly the best words to use. As Tanya starts beating their ass. As then Izuku says, Grandma, you said no mage abilities. That's when we were hiking. This is now. As she kicks him in the face. As both Sean and Patrick thought, wait, so we're doing a new rule now? Alright. As Sean uses his electric whips as he flings them towards Tanya. As Tanya just smirks as she gets out of the way, as Sean just uses an air cannon and blows like gusts of wind, as the whips and the wind just go a little bit to the left as it hits Izuku. As Sean just goes, Izu! As Tanya jumps over and kicks him as well. As she just says, your guys' teamwork is sloppy at best, and I'm gonna fix that. And plus, turn some new attitudes. As she just stares at Patrick, and then she continues, well, we're also going to be adding a new rule. From now on, you'll be speaking strictly in Japanese. I don't care how much, as long as you're speaking it, it will be fine. As she just runs towards Sean, as Sean uses his whips again to fling bolts of energy, as Tanya just dodges each and every one of those bolts, as she just ducks under him, as she punches him in the balls, as Patrick just goes, why always the balls? As he collapses. As they do this for a while, as days go by again, because I don't think you just need every single freaking detail of how she trains them. Let's just say it's brutally. And let's just cut over to like the 2 last days of this little trip. As we cut to Izuku, Sean, and Patrick playing cards. Hey, Izu. Yeah? 2 more days, huh? Pretty much. 2 more days, and you'll be owing me one. God, you are such a prick. Hey, we have to be speaking Japanese. You're not! We're speaking plain old English! I hope we succeed through the dang test. Hey, Patrick, yeah? How's your studying going? Very well? Hey. So far, I've only been learning is curse words. You? Pretty much the same. They're the only thing I can truly pronounce without even thinking. Izu? Same. Busu. Of course you like that one. What's the most direct? Yours? Shushu Sinde. Of course. Patrick? I don't got a favorite one yet. You are just the worst. I'm not. You are. You're the worst. Boys, I'm coming down. Oh, shh. Do your best to speak Japanese. I know you guys aren't having them speaking Japanese. That's why I've now come with the test. Oh, crap. As she fully comes down and lays onto the floor all the papers. Well, good luck. As she just leaves. Crap. Wait, how did she know? It's my grandmother. How the hell she hasn't known? She probably doesn't care as long as we speak it once in a while. Yeah, but I feel like there's going to be hell waiting for us back home. Let's just get over with this. As they do the test. As it's like an hour or two later, as they've all finally finished the test. And then they bring their tests to Tanya. As she just says, alright, come back within an hour. All of them just leave. Basically sweating bullets. Okay. So you guys want to play some ball? Sure. As they do that, but we cut to Tanya's office as time begins to slow down a bit. Hello, Tanya. X. As then, right next to her is a very small nutcracker. Oh, Tanya. That little stunt you pulled was very amusing. Well, I'm very glad you enjoyed it, you asshole. Oh, Tanya, such profanity. You're a grandmother now, don't you know? You need to set a better example. Well, when you have your own kids, let me know when that works out. As defiant as ever. What do you want, you slugnoid?
Do you really think you've gotten out of my sight, Tanya? I can assure you, you haven't in any way. And to think that you have subverted any repercussions, Tanya. You have definitely not have grown wiser in your age.
What do you want this time, X? Because last time I counted, anytime you set up some kind of roadblock or vague deterrent, I have surpassed and subverted you every single time.
Yes. Yes, you have definitely subverted and surpassed every time. You wanted to be a middleman. I made you into a major. You wanted to hide in the shadows. I made you the face of the army. And when you handled my challenges, I made you greater ones. So no matter what you do, you're only as powerful as you are because I allow it.
What do you want, X? As you can see, I am quite busy.
Yes. I'm just here to inform you, Tanya.
As an eyebrow of her raises a bit.
There's a new dawn coming, Tanya. And if you can put it, a birth of a new era. And I don't think this time you'll be able to subvert it. Because, like you, I have great plans for the boy. Great and terrible plans, Tanya. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. And you wanna know why, Tanya?
As she visibly gets very angry.
Because I allow it. Gott mit uns.
As time resumes, as Tanya instantly just grabs the nutcracker and just throws it onto the floor and stomps on it. Damn it, damn it, damn it! God. I guess that's official then. Whatever happens from this point on has to be for Izuku's sake. Whatever that bastard's planning is going to involve him and me. It's definitely going to involve the heroes. Definitely. The quark gene did not just pop out of nowhere. Yes. Whatever he's planning has to be stopped. But it has to be something unpredictable. It can't be a new world war. That'd be too predictable. Whatever it is, I either have to prevent it, stop it, or make sure Izuku's prepared. I just hope I have done enough by that point where he could easily stand on his 2 feet. As Tanya just goes back to writing the papers. As we cut to Izuku, Sean, and Patrick coming into the office as they're waiting there to receive their papers. Hello, boys. Grandma? Miss Tanya? Good, you all three are here on time. Here's your papers. As they all grab them. As Patrick just says, yes! Yes, I made it! What did you get? 76 on the dot. 80. Izu? 83. As they all shout and rejoice. I expected 100 out of you three. So what does that mean? As they all prepare for whatever is going to happen. But you at least meet my exceptions. So your training will not be increased by tenfold permanently. Now the written test is done. Now it's time for the physical. As they all look at Tanya, as then Sean and Patrick just as they all head to the arena. Grandma, what's this about? Yeah, Miss Tanya. What is this about? You guys passed the written test fine. But now we need to see if all the physical training you've done has been worth the effort. If you three can at least contain me, you will win. If you don't, your training will be increased by twofold. So,
And then Tanya just cracks her neck. All right, let's see what you got. As they begin to fight. And so the fight begins as Patrick just starts flinging electric bolts at Tanya as she starts dodging. As she just says, "Have you not learned anything, Patrick?" "Oh, I learned plenty." As he extends his whip even longer, almost grazing Tanya's chin. As she just says, "You finally learned how to extend it." "Oh, I've learned a little bit more than that." As two more whips appear upon Patrick's wrists, as he just flings his arm, releasing all the bolts at Tanya, as she dodges all of them by doing a backflip. As she just thinks, impressive, but where are the other two? As when she lands, she just hears a bang as she turns to her left, as it's Izuku, as she jumps to her left, dodging the electric whip, as she just hears five more bangs, as she looks behind her, as it's Sean coming in with an uppercut, as when Tanya sees this, she immediately drops to the floor, as she narrowly misses the blow, as it just grazes her nose just a tad, as Sean just flies towards Patrick as he lands. "Hey, Izu. Yeah? Is it just me, or your grandma a lot more limber than she's supposed to be?" "She's been holding back. That's why." "So she's finally taking us seriously?" "Seems so. Or at least I'm hoping." Great. Was that a complaint? No? Alright, guys, come on. Let's do this! As Tanya's just thinking, I am way too old for this shit. Well, might as well. As then she goes into the attack. As she goes and tries to fight Izuku. As Sean and Patrick try to, well, run at her and fight her, she just dodges both of them by just jumping over them. As she tries to punch Izuku. As then Izuku deflects the blow as he tries to jab her. But Tanya just grabs onto that fist and dodges it as she just gives him a mean backhand. And then she just grabs his head and just throws him to the ground. As Izuku just tries to get up, but Tanya just tries to, well, stomp him to the ground. But then Patrick just throws more electric bolts at Tanya as she just dodges those. As then Izuku starts to get up, as he starts to look kinda mad, as Sean just runs up to him. "You alright? We gotta end this. Now. Circle her. I'll take her down. Izu, are you sure?" "I'm very sure," as his eyes begin to shrink and turn yellow, as little bolts of electricity go across his body. As Tanya sees this, as she just says, "Oh, crap," as within a second, Izuku just blitz towards her as he just runs within like less than like 2 seconds, covering like 30 feet. As he just haymakers Tanya in the face, as she just flies back to the other side of the wall in the room. As she gets a good look at Izuku, seeing the electricity sparking all over him, as she just thinks, "Oh, for the love of God, son of a bitch," as then she immediately has a look of defeat on her face. As Izuku just not noticing it, he just blitz at her, grabs her, gives her into a massive bear hug, and German suplexes her to the ground as he begins to squeeze and just saying, "Yield," as he begins to squeeze tighter and tighter. Eventually, Time just says, "I yield," as Izuku just lets go. As Sean and Patrick just look at them both as they just both ask in unison, "Did we win?" As Tanya says, "You won. All three of you. You have completed every trial I set out,
and you succeeded. Training will not be increased, and you may want to pack. Tomorrow morning, we're leaving for home. As all of them just, well, namely Sean and Patrick, just have a giant smile on their face as they just go like, yes, we passed! And instantly, Sean just goes, Izu, I won! You now owe me now! As Izuku just looks at him like, a deal's a deal. I now owe you, quote unquote. As Sean and Patrick just have a giant smile on their face, but Izuku just has this weird feeling, this strange feeling that his grandma's not telling him everything, and there's probably going to be much trouble ahead. As in, we're going to skip to the next day, as a massive plane comes to an airstrip and parks, as Sean and Patrick are like fully packed and ready to come home, as Izuku just walks next to his grandmother. Grandma? What is it, Izu? What is it? What are you afraid of? As she just gives him a look. Grandma, ever since that little council meeting, you've been training me harder and harder, giving me more types of training. Combat styles, survival, munitions, the works. You don't do something like this without a reason. Especially when you were younger. You didn't do stuff like this without a reason. Especially ever since my powers increased. You trained me harder than anyone in the family. You trained me harder than those like Sean. So what is it? What are you afraid of? It can't be the Russians. They wouldn't do anything. Especially the Sioux. I mean, their strongest members, not even near the strongest, well, me. What's his name? Gary, I think? What are you afraid of? What the hell is the threat that got you so scared, Grandma? As she just looks at him. As she just sighs. Look, Izu. You don't understand it now. But in time, and I do mean in time, you will understand. There are threats out there. I'll explain it to you when you're older. Trust me. Just relax for now. You earned it. As she just walks off to the plane. As Izuku just stares, thinking, whatever it is that's gotten you so shook, Grandma, I hope one day you at least tell me what the heck I'm going to face. And I just hope I'm strong enough to face it. As he walks towards the plane, and after like a few minutes preparing, the plane leaves, and after a great many amount of hours, especially with Sean, Izuku, and Patrick just messing about and being, well, teenagers, they finally land back home. As the plane doors open, the first one out is Sean, as he sees two people standing out there, as he just says, Mom? Pop? As out there are Sean's parents, as they just say, welcome back, boy. How was your little trip? It was fine. As then Patrick just shows up his head. Hey, Uncle. Hey, Auntie. As Sean just goes, Patrick, as they walk down the ramp. Next is Izuku, of course, as, yeah, it's both Hasashi and Inko, as they just rush to him, as Izuku just goes, hey, Mom, hey, Pop, as Inko just hugs her son, as then she just asks, I hope Mom wasn't too hard on you. No, she was just fine. You're a terrible liar. As then Tanya walked out. He was fine. He did very well on the trip. I just hope you didn't hurt him too badly. As she just starts looking for bruises. Mom. As in, Sachi just goes in. Honey, he's going to be fine. He's tough. Tough as hell. Like his grandmother. Hello, Hasashi. But also, I need to borrow Izuku for a bit. Mom. We just got him back. It's not going to be for long. Come with me, Izu. As Izuku just has an eyebrow raised. As he just goes, I'll see you later, Ma. Pops. As he goes. As They go to Tanya's room as Izuku just goes like, okay, what do you need me for? As Tanya just goes under her bed as she grabs an old as heck wicker box. As she just places it upon the bed. Grandma? Shh. As she begins to open it, as the lock on it unlocks, as eventually she opens the box, as it is full of like old memorabilia, like old photos of her when she was still in the orphanage, photos of her when she was in the military, especially that one that she looked like a doll. She hated that one. Like another old box and a hat. Namely, it was green with a red trim. As she grabs the box within it, as she opens that one as well, as it is her old service revolver. As she just looks upon the pistol as she cocks it to do a little bit of, gun safety, as if just in case if there was still a round in there. There wasn't. As she just turns it over and gives it to Izuku, as he just stares. Grandma, what the heck is going on? Izu, as she turns to the box, there's a new age coming, a new dawn. And there's going to be troubles that I can't protect you. And some you're going to need to deal with all by yourself. And some not even Sean and Patrick are going to protect you from. And you're going to need to be prepared for it. As Izuku just stares at her. Grandma? But I know you're going to be strong enough to do so. You want to know why? As he just stares at her, as she just grabs the hat and just puts it on him. Because you're a Dukashov. You may not be a devil like me, but you're one hell of an heir. As, I'm going to cut it off from there. So guys, please subscribe to this channel. Please like this video. Please comment down below to give me some ideas. And please share this video with friends and family. And guys, please do not forget to hit that notification bell to get to know when I release my what ifs. And so guys, I am sorry this took 4 months to freaking make, but I hope you all forgive me, and I'll be releasing more videos now. So guys, please have a nice day, nice life, and I'll see you in the next what if. Toodles!